Okay, question is to solve absolute value 5x minus 1 equals absolute value 2x plus 3. So this is the question you want to solve. Okay, so notice I have two absolute values, one on the left, one on the right. So this tells me I should write 5x minus 1 equals the right hand side expression as it is. That's one option. Or 5x minus 1 equals negative of the right hand expression. Notice the expression inside the absolute value, all of it has to be negated. So take all of it inside parentheses. You therefore have two equations. Let's solve each one. What happens here? So ignore the rest, just understand this equation. How do I solve for this? Get rid of 2x. I have an x here and an x here. So subtract 2x from both sides. I subtract from the right, I subtract from the left. Okay, so this tells me 5x minus 2x is 3x. That negative 1 is still over here, equals 2x minus 2x cancel. I have 3 over there. At this point, I want to solve for x. Let's add 1 to both sides. Negative 1 cancels positive 1. I have 3x equals 3 plus 1 is a 4. Lastly, divide both sides by 3. 4 over 3. So that gets me x equals 4/3. Alright. So that was using the first equation. Now let's focus on the second equation. On the second equation, notice I have a negative outside. So this tells me 5x minus 1 equals negative 2x minus 3. So that negative and positive makes it minus 3. At this point, I want to get rid of that negative 2x. So I will add 2x to both sides, which gives me 5x plus 2x is 7x. That negative 1 minus 1 equals negative 2x plus 2x cancel. I'm left with negative 3. Again, to solve for x, I will add 1 to both sides. This gets me 7x by itself equals negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Lastly, divide both sides by 7. So, remember the or, that's what comes down. Or x equals negative 2/7. So these are your two options. Alright, we should check my original equation. Okay, first let's check x equals 4/3. Okay, how do we check? Where you see x, replace it by 4/3. Oops. Replace it by parenthesis first, and then fill in the parentheses by 4/3. Okay, remember you are checking, so it's a question mark. So you have two expressions to evaluate. So let's hope we do justice to it. 5 times 4/3 absolute value. 5 is nothing but 5 over 1. So 5 over 1 times 4 over 3. So that's 20 over 3 minus 1. That's the left hand side. Okay. Let me continue with the left hand side. That minus 1, I need same denominator. So 1 becomes 3 over 3. Okay, so that 1 becomes 3 over 3. So now I have same denominator, which brings me to the fraction. I have common denominator. Numerators you can subtract. 20 minus 3 is a 17 over 3. Absolute value of 17 over 3. So that is 17 over 3. Alright, so that's the left hand side. Question is it equal to the right hand side? Well, let's try. Multiply. Well, 2 times 4 over 3. Well, 2 should be thought of as fraction 2 over 1. Alright, that's what 2 is. So when I multiply, 4 times 2 is 8 over 3 plus 3. I want common denominator 3, so I will write this as a fraction. I need a 3 downstairs, so I need to multiply 3 by 3, so 9/3. Alright, question is, what happens in the right hand side? Well, I have common denominator, so 3 is a common denominator. 8 plus 9, 17 over 3. Is 17 over 3 equals 17 over 3? So you notice this is absolute value of 17 over 3. Well, no, of course 17 over 3 is equal to 17 over 3. So x equals 4/3 is a solution. Okay, so we got one working. What about the other one? All right, you want to check this particular. Okay, check this in what? In your original equation, mind you. Where you see x, write parentheses. Where you see x, write parentheses. You want to check, remember. All right, I'll place -2 sevens inside the parentheses. -2 sevens inside the parentheses. Now, absolute value, multiplying, remember 5 was fraction, 5 over 1. Why did I convert it? Because this is a fraction. Multiplying across, so negative fraction, 5 times 2 is a 10, over 1 times 7 is a 7, minus 1. Question is, let's do the same work here. 2 is nothing but fraction, 2 over 1. So that gets me negative 2 times 2 is 4 over 7. Whoops. Plus 3. Okay. What happens here? Negative 10 over 7 minus 1. Why don't I rewrite that minus 1 as minus 7 over 7? Just so I have common denominator. So this gets me common denominator of 7, negative 10, negative 7. So that's a negative 17. Okay. Absolute value of negative 17 is positive 17 over 7. Absolute value of negative 17 sevenths is positive 17 sevenths. What happens here? We are still checking. Negative 4 sevenths plus. I need common denominator of 7. How do I get common denominator of 7? This 3 is nothing but 3 over 1. How do I make it into a denominator of 7? Multiply by 7, numerator and denominator. So 3 times 7 is 21 and 1 was the denominator. 1 times 7 is 7. At this point, notice you already have common denominators here. So write down the denominator 7 as it is. Numerator is negative 4 plus 21. Negative 4 plus 21 is 17. Absolute value of 17 is absolute value of positive 17 over 7 is positive 17 over 7. So it's fine. This also works out. So x equals negative 2/7 is also a solution. So you had two choices. They are both solutions. Okay. So solution set is 1 is 4/3 and the other is negative 2/7. Okay, so that completes this problem. We'll continue in our next video.